Most people believe kidney failure is something you would clearly feel. Strong pain. Obvious symptoms. Something that sends you straight to the hospital. But for adults over 60, that belief is often wrong. In reality, kidney decline is usually quiet. It develops slowly. And it often hides behind signs that feel harmless, common, or easy to ignore. Many people do not realize their kidneys are struggling until more than half of their kidney function is already gone. And by that point, the damage is very hard to reverse. This is why kidney problems after 60 are so dangerous. Not because they are sudden, but because they are silent. You may still be walking every day. You may still feel mostly fine. Your routine might not have changed at all. Yet inside your body, the kidneys may already be under stress. In this video, we are not here to scare you, and we are not here to diagnose anything. This is a calm, educational guide to help you understand the early silent signs that doctors watch for in adults over 60. Signs that often appear long before serious symptoms and long before most people seek medical help. Some of these signs may surprise you. Others may feel familiar, but you may never have connected them to kidney health. If you are over 60 or caring for someone who is, this information matters. Because when kidney stress is noticed early, there is still time to protect function, slow progression, and support long-term health. Let's begin by understanding why kidney problems so often go unnoticed after 60. As we get older, the body changes in ways most people don't notice. Muscles slowly shrink, metabolism slows down, and the kidneys, like every other organ, age as well. But kidney aging is different. Unlike joints or muscles, kidneys do not cause sharp pain when they begin to struggle. They work quietly in the background, filtering waste, balancing fluids, and supporting blood pressure every minute of the day. After 60, this filtering system becomes more sensitive. Blood flow to the kidneys gradually decreases, hormone signals become weaker, and the kidneys lose some of their ability to recover from stress. This means small problems can have a bigger impact. Mild dehydration, a common pain medication, high blood pressure that seems controlled, even normal aging-related inflammation. Each one alone may not feel serious, but together, over time, they place extra strain on the kidneys. The reason most people don't notice this is because the body adapts. You may feel a little more tired, a little less energetic. Maybe you assume it's just age. And that assumption is exactly why early kidney problems are missed. The body compensates until it can no longer keep up. By the time obvious symptoms appear, kidney function may already be significantly reduced. This is why doctors focus on patterns, not pain, when evaluating kidney health after 60. And this leads us to the early signs that often appear quietly, long before most people realize what is happening. Let's look at the first one. One of the earliest signs of kidney stress is not pain. It's subtle changes in how your body feels day to day. You may notice that you get tired more easily than before. Not exhausted, just drained faster. Simple tasks take more effort. You need more rest after activities that used to feel normal. This happens because the kidneys help regulate waste removal and fluid balance. When they struggle, waste products can stay in the blood longer. This does not cause sudden illness. It creates low-grade fatigue. Many people assume this is just aging, but healthy aging does not mean constant tiredness. Another early change is brain fog. You may feel less mentally sharp. It's harder to focus. You forget small things more often. This is not dementia. And it's not necessarily memory loss. It's reduced mental clarity caused by subtle chemical imbalances in the bloodstream. The kidneys play a role in keeping these levels stable. When that balance shifts, the brain feels it first. A third overlooked sign is reduced appetite. You may not feel hungry like before. Food feels less appealing. You eat smaller portions without trying. Again, this is often blamed on age. But appetite changes can signal that waste products are slowly building up. None of these signs feel alarming. That's the danger. They appear gradually, they feel mild, and they are easy to ignore. But together, they form a pattern doctors watch closely when evaluating kidney health after 60. And there is one very common sign that shows up in daily routines, often dismissed as normal aging. Let's look at that next. For many people over 60, the clearest early kidney signs appear in the morning, not during the day, not at night, right after waking up. One common change is morning puffiness. You may notice swelling around the eyes, face, or hands. Your rings feel tighter. Your eyelids look heavier. This happens because the kidneys regulate fluid balance. When they work less efficiently, extra fluid can build up overnight. Gravity makes it more noticeable when you wake up. Many people think this is just poor sleep or salt from dinner. But persistent morning puffiness is something doctors take seriously. Another early sign is changes in urination patterns. You may urinate more at night, but less in the morning. Or your urine looks darker when you wake up. Sometimes it appears foamier than usual. Foam is not always a problem, but frequent foamy urine can indicate protein leaking into the urine. Healthy kidneys keep protein in the blood. When kidney filters weaken, protein slips through. This is often one of the first measurable changes in early kidney stress. A third morning sign is stiffness combined with fatigue. You wake up feeling heavy, not sore like muscle pain, just slow to get moving. This is not arthritis. It's the body responding to waste products that were not fully cleared overnight. The kidneys do most of their filtering while you rest. If that process slows, your body feels it in the morning. These signs are easy to dismiss. They don't hurt. They don't stop your day. But they are signals, quiet ones. And there is one daily habit that can make these signs worse without people realizing it. Let's talk about that next. One of the most overlooked causes of kidney stress after 60 is not disease. It's everyday habits. Small things people do regularly without realizing the long-term effect. One common habit is low daily hydration. Many older adults drink less water because they don't feel thirsty, or they avoid fluids to reduce nighttime bathroom trips. But dehydration forces the kidneys to work harder. Blood becomes more concentrated. Waste is harder to filter. Over time, this constant strain slowly damages kidney function. Another major stressor is frequent use of pain relievers. Medications like ibuprofen or naproxen are common for joint pain and headaches. Used occasionally, they are usually safe. But regular use reduces blood flow to the kidneys. This makes kidney tissue more vulnerable to injury. Many people take these medications for years without ever connecting them to kidney health. A third habit is high sodium eating patterns, not just salty snacks, but packaged foods, canned soups, frozen meals, restaurant meals. Excess sodium increases blood pressure, and high blood pressure is one of the strongest drivers of kidney decline. The kidneys are delicate filters. They were never designed to handle constant pressure overload. Individually, these habits may not cause immediate problems, but combined, they slowly push the kidneys beyond their comfort zone. And here's the important part. Kidney stress from habits does not cause pain. It causes gradual decline, which is why awareness matters. And there is one physical change you can often see on the body before serious kidney symptoms appear. Let's look at that next. Some early kidney warning signs can actually be seen on the body. They don't appear suddenly, and they don't look dramatic. That's why many people ignore them. One of the most common is swelling in the lower legs and ankles. You may notice your socks leave deeper marks. Your shoes feel tighter by the end of the day. Your ankles look slightly puffier in the evening. This happens because the kidneys help regulate fluid and salt balance. When that balance weakens, fluid settles in the lowest parts of the body. Gravity makes the legs and feet the first place you see it. Another visible change is dry, itchy skin. Not a rash, not an allergy. Just persistent dryness or itching that doesn't improve with lotion. Healthy kidneys help remove waste that can irritate nerve endings in the skin. When waste builds up slowly, the skin often reacts first. A third sign is changes in skin tone. Some people notice their skin looks duller, less color, almost gray or yellowish in certain lighting. This is not a cosmetic issue. It reflects subtle changes in blood chemistry and circulation. Again, none of these changes hurt. They don't stop daily life. But when doctors see swelling, persistent itching, and skin tone changes together, they think about kidney stress. And there is one internal system that plays a major role in whether kidney decline speeds up or slows down. Let's talk about that next. Many people think of blood pressure as a heart issue, but blood pressure and kidney health are deeply connected. In fact, the kidneys help control blood pressure, and blood pressure directly affects the kidneys. After 60, this relationship becomes fragile. When blood pressure stays slightly high for long periods of time, it damages tiny blood vessels inside the kidneys. These vessels are extremely small. They are responsible for filtering waste from your blood. High pressure slowly scars them. Not all at once, but gradually. This is why many people with borderline or mostly controlled blood pressure still develop kidney problems. They feel fine. Their numbers don't look alarming. But the kidneys are quietly taking the hit. On the other side, when kidneys begin to weaken, they struggle to regulate fluid and hormones. This can cause blood pressure to rise even more. It becomes a cycle. Higher pressure damages kidneys. Weaker kidneys raise pressure, and the cycle feeds itself. This is why doctors pay close attention to blood pressure trends, not just single readings. A slow upward drift over years is often more dangerous than one high number. The key point is this: kidney stress and blood pressure changes often develop together. If one is ignored, the other usually follows. And there is one daily signal that often appears when this cycle is already underway. Let's look at that next. Many people think poor sleep after 60 is just part of aging. They assume fatigue, low energy, and restless nights are normal. But often, the kidneys are involved. When kidneys are under stress, they struggle to balance fluids, electrolytes, and waste products. This imbalance doesn't stay silent. It affects the entire body. One of the first areas impacted is sleep quality. Excess fluid can shift at night when you lie down. This puts pressure on the bladder and increases nighttime urination. Waking up once may seem harmless, but waking up 2, 3, or 4 times each night fragments deep sleep. The body never fully recovers. At the same time, waste products that are not filtered efficiently circulate longer in the bloodstream. This creates a constant, low-grade fatigue. Not exhaustion, just a heavy, drained feeling that never fully goes away. Many seniors describe it the same way. I wake up tired. I don't feel refreshed anymore. I need more naps than before. This is not laziness, and it is not weakness. It is often a signal that the body's internal balance is slipping. Sleep becomes lighter, energy becomes inconsistent, and daily activities start to feel harder than they used to. What makes this tricky is that these changes happen slowly, month by month, year by year. So people adapt, they push through, but the body keeps sending signals. And there is one daytime sign that often appears next, especially during simple activities. Let's talk about that. Most kidney-related changes do not arrive suddenly. They arrive quietly, small changes that are easy to ignore. One common sign is swelling that comes and goes. Not dramatic swelling, just a feeling that shoes feel tighter by the evening. Socks leave deeper marks around the ankles. Rings feel harder to remove at night than in the morning. Many people blame this on standing too long or sitting too much. But fluid balance is one of the kidney's main jobs. When that balance weakens, fluid tends to settle in the lowest parts of the body. Another subtle change is muscle cramping, especially at night. Calf cramps, foot spasms, sudden tightness that wakes you from sleep. This often relates to electrolyte imbalance. The kidneys help regulate sodium, potassium, and magnesium levels. When that regulation slips, muscles misfire. You may also notice your skin feels drier than it used to. Not just aging dryness, but itchiness that doesn't improve with lotion. This happens when waste products remain longer in circulation and irritate nerve endings. None of these signs feel urgent on their own. That's why they are dismissed. But together, they form a pattern the body uses to say something is changing inside. And there is one daily habit that quietly accelerates all of these changes without most people realizing it. That habit often starts first thing in the morning. Let's talk about that next. For many people, the problem does not begin at night. It begins in the morning. A habit that feels harmless, even healthy. Something millions of adults do within minutes of waking up. Drinking strong coffee on an empty stomach. Coffee itself is not the enemy. But timing matters. When you wake up, your body is already slightly dehydrated. During sleep, you lose fluid through breathing and natural processes. Your kidneys wake up in a concentrated state. When caffeine enters the system first, it triggers a stress response. Blood pressure rises. Blood vessels constrict. The kidneys respond by working harder to filter and rebalance fluids. This creates a temporary overload. Occasionally, the body adapts. But repeated every morning, for years, the strain accumulates, especially after age 60. Another morning habit adds to this burden. Taking multiple medications without water. Pain relievers, blood pressure pills, acid reducers. These medications rely on the kidneys for clearance. Without adequate hydration, the filtering process slows. Waste products remain longer. Tissues experience more stress. Many people believe they are helping their health by starting the day this way. But the kidneys interpret it differently. They experience pressure before they have time to stabilize. The solution is not to remove these habits completely. It is to change the order. And that small change can significantly reduce daily strain. There is one simple adjustment that protects kidney function without sacrificing routine. Let's look at that next. Before coffee, before medication, before breakfast. There is a short window when your kidneys are most vulnerable, but also most responsive. The first 90 seconds after waking up. During this time, your body is transitioning from rest to activity. Blood flow is redistributing. Hormones are stabilizing. Fluid balance is recalibrating. What you do in this moment sets the workload for your kidneys for the rest of the day. The simplest protection is gentle hydration. Not a full glass. Not ice cold. Just small, steady sips of room temperature water. This signals the kidneys that support is coming. Blood viscosity decreases. Filtration pressure normalizes. The kidneys no longer need to compensate aggressively. Many nephrologists quietly recommend this practice for older adults, not as a treatment, but as prevention. After those 90 seconds, the body is prepared. Coffee is processed more smoothly. Medications are filtered more safely. Blood pressure responds less sharply. This is not about drinking more water overall. It is about timing. One small pause. One gentle reset. Over weeks and months, this habit reduces daily strain that otherwise accumulates silently. It is simple enough to maintain for life, and powerful enough to protect kidney function without changing anything else. Next, there is another daily habit that seems harmless, but accelerates kidney fatigue after age 65. Let's examine that. Many people believe over-the-counter painkillers are harmless, especially when taken only once in a while. But after age 65, the kidneys process these drugs very differently. Common pain relievers like ibuprofen, naproxen, and similar medications reduce inflammation. But they also reduce blood flow inside the kidneys. In younger bodies, this reduction is temporary. In older adults, it can persist much longer than expected. Each dose forces the kidneys to filter under lower pressure while still handling waste. This creates silent fatigue, not damage overnight, not pain you can feel, just gradual strain that accumulates day after day. Many seniors take painkillers for joint stiffness, back discomfort, or mild arthritis, often without realizing that daily or frequent use changes kidney workload permanently. Doctors don't always warn about this because the effect is slow. Blood tests may stay normal for years, but kidney reserve is quietly shrinking. This does not mean you must avoid pain relief entirely. It means timing and frequency matter. Using pain medication only when truly necessary, not as a daily routine, can significantly reduce kidney stress. There is also a safer alternative many people overlook: hydration before medication. Even small dehydration concentrates the drug inside the kidneys. That increases toxicity. A glass of water first can reduce that concentration and ease filtration. Small adjustments make a meaningful difference. Next, we'll look at a simple food habit that strengthens kidney filtration instead of burdening it. As night approaches, your kidneys prepare for their most important job: recovery. During sleep, blood flow patterns change, hormones shift, and your kidneys move from active filtering into repair mode. But what you eat at dinner can either support this process or interrupt it. Heavy evening meals force the kidneys to keep working late, especially meals high in salt, processed protein, or hidden sodium. This delays nighttime recovery. One simple change makes a surprising difference: choosing lighter, water-rich foods in the evening. Vegetables, soft-cooked grains, simple soups. These foods require less filtration and reduce fluid imbalance. The kidneys can slow down without falling behind. Another overlooked factor is timing. Eating earlier in the evening gives your body a full digestion window before sleep. That window matters. When digestion overlaps sleep, the kidneys must juggle two demanding tasks at once: filtering waste and managing fluid shifts. Spacing dinner at least 2 to 3 hours before bedtime reduces this load. Many older adults notice less nighttime urination after making this change. Sleep becomes deeper. Morning swelling reduces, not because the kidneys work harder, but because they finally get rest. This is not about strict diets. It's about alignment, supporting your body's natural rhythm instead of pushing against it. Up next, we'll discuss a common morning habit that either protects kidney circulation or quietly weakens it. Most mornings start the same. You wake up, you sit up, you stand, and you begin your day. It feels harmless. But for your kidneys, this moment matters more than most people realize. Overnight, your body redistributes fluids. Blood pressure is lower. Circulation is slower. Your kidneys are still adjusting from rest mode back into active filtering. Standing up too quickly forces an abrupt pressure shift. Blood momentarily drops away from the kidneys. This brief interruption happens in seconds. You usually don't feel it. But repeated every morning, Year after year, it adds strain, especially after age 60. The kidneys rely on stable circulation to maintain filtration efficiency. Sudden drops reduce oxygen delivery to delicate kidney tissue. This doesn't cause pain, it causes gradual decline. Many seniors notice light dizziness in the morning, or a feeling of heaviness in the lower back, often dismissed as normal aging. But it's a circulation signal. A simple adjustment protects the kidneys. Sit at the edge of the bed for 30 to 60 seconds before standing. Let your circulation catch up. Take a few slow breaths. Allow blood pressure to stabilize naturally. Then stand. This small pause reduces stress on kidney blood vessels. Over time, it supports better filtration and steadier energy levels. This isn't about moving slower. It's about moving smarter. Next, we'll look at hydration habits that seem healthy, but can quietly overload the kidneys when done incorrectly. You've probably heard this advice your entire life. Drink more water. And it's true. Hydration matters. But after 60, how you drink water matters just as much as how much you drink. Many seniors try to do the right thing. They wake up and drink a large glass of water all at once, sometimes two. It feels healthy, refreshing. But for aging kidneys, this sudden volume creates a problem. The kidneys don't work like a sponge. They filter blood gradually. Large water loads force them to respond too fast. This increases filtration pressure. Over time, that pressure strains tiny filtering units called nephrons. You don't feel it. There's no warning pain, just slow fatigue inside the kidneys. Another common habit is drinking most fluids late in the evening. This overloads the kidneys when circulation naturally slows during sleep. It disrupts rest, increases nighttime urination, and reduces the kidney's recovery time. The solution isn't drinking less water, it's drinking smarter. Small, steady sips throughout the day, especially in the morning, after meals, and early afternoon. In the morning, start with a half glass. Wait. Let your body wake fully, then continue. Your kidneys prefer rhythm, not sudden demand. Think of hydration like watering a plant. A slow soak works better than dumping everything at once. Next, we'll look at foods that quietly reduce kidney blood flow even when they're labeled healthy. This part may surprise you, because the foods we're about to talk about are not junk food. They're often recommended as healthy choices, especially for older adults. But after 60, the body processes them differently. One example is large amounts of raw leafy greens, spinach, kale, Swiss chard. They're rich in nutrients, but they're also high in oxalates. Oxalates bind with minerals and reduce kidney filtration efficiency when consumed frequently in large amounts. This doesn't happen overnight. It builds slowly. Another example is protein shakes used as meal replacements. Many seniors use them to stay strong. But excess protein in liquid form forces the kidneys to work harder, especially when muscle demand is low. The kidneys must clear nitrogen waste from protein metabolism. Too much, too often, reduces blood flow efficiency inside the kidney. Then there are low-sodium packaged foods. Ironically, many replace salt with potassium additives. After 60, potassium balance becomes delicate. High intake can strain kidney regulation even when blood tests look normal. The issue isn't eating these foods at all. It's eating them daily without rotation. Aging kidneys prefer variety, gentle load, recovery time, cooked greens instead of raw, whole food protein instead of liquid shakes, fresh meals instead of packaged substitutes. Next, we'll talk about a daily habit that improves kidney circulation without supplements and without exercise. Here's the habit most doctors never mention. Because it's not a pill, it's not an exercise, and it doesn't make money. It's hydration timing, not how much you drink, but when you drink. After 60, kidney blood flow follows rhythm. Morning circulation is naturally higher. Afternoon circulation slows. Late evening, the kidneys prepare for rest. When large amounts of water are consumed late at night, blood flow becomes inefficient. The kidneys are forced to work when they're designed to recover. But when most hydration happens earlier in the day, the kidneys filter more smoothly. Blood moves through the kidney with less resistance. Waste clears faster. Pressure inside the kidney drops. A simple rhythm works best. A glass of water within 30 minutes of waking. Small sips every 60 to 90 minutes until late afternoon. Then slow down. After dinner, only sip if truly thirsty. Not out of habit. Not just in case. This pattern reduces overnight strain. It improves morning urine clarity. And many seniors notice less swelling in the legs within 1 to 2 weeks. This isn't restriction. It's cooperation with how aging kidneys work. Next, we'll talk about a quiet sign your kidney circulation is improving before lab tests ever change. Most people think kidney improvement only shows up in blood tests, but the body speaks first. Quietly, if you know what to listen for. The first sign often appears in the morning. Urine becomes lighter in color, not clear like water, but pale yellow. This means filtration is happening with less stress. The second sign is less heaviness in the lower back, not pain relief, just a subtle lightness when standing up from bed. That's improved circulation reducing pressure around the kidneys. The third sign shows up in the legs. Ankles look less puffy by midday. Socks leave fewer marks. This tells us fluid balance is improving. The kidneys are clearing what used to linger. Another early sign is steadier energy. Not more energy, just fewer crashes. You don't feel drained after simple tasks. That's because waste products are leaving the bloodstream more efficiently. And finally, sleep becomes deeper. You may still wake up at night, but falling back asleep becomes easier. Because the kidneys aren't overworking during rest. None of these signs mean perfect kidneys. They mean progress. Quiet progress. The kind that builds week by week. And when these signs appear, blood tests often improve later. Not the other way around. Next, we'll talk about the biggest mistake seniors make that silently blocks kidney circulation even when everything else is done right. There is one habit that quietly blocks kidney blood flow, even in people who eat well, even in people who drink enough water, and most seniors do it every single day. Sitting for long periods without movement, not exercise, just stillness. When you sit too long, blood pools in the lower body. Circulation slows. Pressure builds around the kidneys, and filtration becomes harder. This doesn't cause pain. That's why it's dangerous. The kidneys don't complain. They adapt. Until they can't. Many people think a daily walk cancels this out. It doesn't. One walk cannot undo 8 hours of stillness. The body needs rhythm, small movement, frequent circulation. Even standing up for 1 minute every half hour changes blood flow dramatically. Another hidden mistake is drinking water all at once, large amounts, in short bursts. This forces the kidneys to work under pressure. Slow, steady hydration is easier to process. Sip. Don't flood. And finally, many seniors unknowingly restrict blood flow by tightening clothing around the waist. Belts, elastic bands, high pressure right where kidney vessels pass. Circulation needs space. Comfort matters more than posture. These habits don't destroy kidneys overnight. They slowly starve them. The good news? They're easy to correct. Next, we'll talk about a simple daily rhythm that supports kidney circulation, without exercise and without effort. Your kidneys do not need exercise. They need circulation. And circulation responds best to rhythm, not intensity. Here is a simple daily pattern many healthy seniors follow without realizing it. Every 30 to 45 minutes, change position. Stand. Walk slowly for 1 minute. Not fast, not far. Just enough to move blood upward. This gentle movement signals the body to redistribute circulation. Pressure eases. Filtration improves. Next comes hydration rhythm. Instead of large glasses, take small sips. 1 or 2 mouthfuls every 15 to 20 minutes. This keeps blood volume stable without stressing the kidneys. Think of it as watering soil. Slow and steady absorbs better than a flood. Breathing also matters. Shallow breathing limits circulation. Once or twice an hour, take 3 slow breaths. Inhale through the nose. Exhale longer than you inhale. This activates blood flow around the kidneys and calms pressure inside the abdomen. And finally, give your body recovery space. In the evening, avoid tight clothing. Sit back. Let the abdomen relax. Kidneys work best when the body feels safe, not compressed. This rhythm is simple, but consistency is powerful. You don't need to change your life. You only need to stop blocking circulation. Next, we'll talk about early signals your kidneys send long before tests change. Signals most people ignore. Before lab tests change, the body whispers. Kidneys rarely fail suddenly. They decline quietly. Here are early signs many seniors experience without realizing their kidneys are involved. The first is morning fatigue that doesn't match your sleep. You wake up but feel unrefreshed. This happens when waste filtration slows during the night. The second is subtle swelling. Not dramatic, just rings feeling tighter. Socks leaving deeper marks. This isn't weight gain. It's fluid staying where it shouldn't. The third sign is temperature sensitivity. Cold hands, cold feet, especially in the evening. Kidneys regulate circulation balance. When they struggle, blood flow becomes uneven. Another signal is changes in appetite. Not hunger loss, but food feeling heavy. Meals take longer to feel comfortable again. Digestion and kidney circulation are closely connected. And finally, changes in sleep patterns. Waking between 2 and 4 a.m. Needing to shift position to feel comfortable. This time, window is when kidneys are most active. These signs don't mean disease. They mean stress. Signals asking for support, not panic. The earlier you listen, the easier it is to respond. Next, we'll talk about everyday habits that quietly overload kidneys without people noticing. Most kidney stress doesn't come from illness. It comes from routine, things that feel normal, harmless, even healthy. The first habit is drinking too little water early in the day. Many seniors wait until they feel thirsty, but thirst is already late. Kidneys need steady flow, not large amounts at once. Small sips spread through the morning are far gentler than one large glass later. The second habit is relying on pain relievers more than necessary. Occasional use is fine. Daily use creates silent strain. These medications are filtered directly through the kidneys. Over time, the load adds up. Another overlooked habit is late, heavy dinners. Large meals at night pull circulation toward digestion. That leaves kidneys working harder with less support. This doesn't cause pain. It causes fatigue that feels unrelated. The fourth habit is staying seated for long periods. Even light movement helps kidney circulation. Standing up, stretching, slow walking for just a few minutes makes a difference. And finally, chronic low-level stress. Not panic, not anxiety attacks, just constant tension. Stress hormones change blood flow patterns. Kidneys feel that shift before the heart does. None of these habits are mistakes. They're simply signals that the body needs small adjustments. Next, we'll talk about simple daily supports that help kidneys recover without medication or complicated routines. Kidneys recover best through consistency, not force, not sudden changes, just steady support. The The first habit is morning hydration rhythm. One small glass after waking, another 30 minutes later. Not cold, not rushed. This wakes kidney filtration gently. The second habit is slow breathing before meals. 3 deep breaths, in through the nose, out through the mouth. This shifts blood flow back into balance before digestion begins. The third habit is light movement after eating. Not exercise, just standing, walking slowly. Stretching arms. 2 to 5 minutes is enough. This helps circulation without stress. The fourth habit is earlier dinners. Not smaller, earlier. Giving the body more nighttime recovery. Kidneys work best when digestion rests. And the fifth habit is evening calm. Lower lights, quieter sounds, less screen brightness. This lowers stress hormones that strain kidney blood flow. None of these habits require discipline. They require awareness. And awareness is something the body responds to quickly. In the next section, we'll talk about which signs show these habits are working before any lab test changes. The body rarely heals all at once. It improves in small signals first. These changes are subtle but meaningful. One of the earliest signs is more stable energy through the morning. Not sudden strength, just fewer crashes. You feel steadier between waking and lunch. Another sign is reduced puffiness. Rings feel looser. Socks leave lighter marks. This shows fluid balance is improving. Many people notice warmer hands and feet in the evening. Not hot, just more comfortable. This reflects better circulation regulation. Another quiet signal is improved appetite timing. You feel hungry at normal intervals. Meals feel lighter afterward. Less heaviness, less bloating. Sleep patterns often shift next. You may wake less often at night, or fall back asleep more easily. This is important. Kidneys and sleep cycles are closely linked. And finally, urine color becomes more consistent. Not darker at night, not overly pale, just balanced. These changes don't mean perfection, they mean direction. The body responding to gentler conditions. Next, we'll talk about what not to do when you start feeling better. Because this is where many people accidentally reverse progress. Feeling better can be misleading. When symptoms ease, many people change behavior too quickly. The first mistake is suddenly increasing effort. More water, more supplements, more activity. Kidneys prefer balance, not overload. Too much at once creates stress, even if intentions are good. Another common mistake is stopping supportive habits too early. Earlier dinners, gentle movement, evening calm. These work because they are consistent. Removing them breaks the rhythm the body was responding to. The third mistake is ignoring rest. Feeling better doesn't mean the system is fully recovered. Recovery continues during sleep. Late nights interrupt that process. Another subtle error is self-adjusting medications. Never do this without guidance. Kidneys interact with many systems. Small changes can have large effects. And finally, comparing progress to others. Every body responds at its own pace. Comparison creates impatience. Impatience leads to pressure. Pressure leads to setbacks. Improvement should feel calm. If it feels forced, it's too fast. Next, we'll talk about how to keep progress stable long-term without constant monitoring or anxiety. Long-term kidney health does not come from constant checking. It comes from steady patterns. The most important skill is recognizing balance, not perfection. Balance. Healthy routines should feel boring, predictable, easy to repeat. If a habit feels stressful, it won't last. Morning hydration should feel automatic. Meals should feel timed, not restricted. Movement should feel natural, not scheduled like a workout. Another key is trusting your body's feedback. Energy, sleep, comfort. These are real signals, more reliable than chasing numbers daily. Checkups matter, but obsession doesn't help healing. Stress alone can tighten kidney circulation. Calm supports recovery. Consistency matters more than intensity. Small habits done quietly outperform big changes done briefly. And remember, aging bodies respond slower. That's not failure. That's biology. Progress measured in weeks is still progress. When kidney care fits into your life, instead of controlling it, results last. In the final section, we'll bring everything together into one simple daily framework you can remember easily without notes or tracking. If you remember only one thing from this video, remember this. Kidney health is not built in clinics. It's built in ordinary days. Morning, gentle hydration. Nothing forced. Midday, steady movement. Nothing intense. Evening, earlier meals, quieter rhythms. Night, rest without guilt. That's it. No tracking apps, no strict schedules, no fear. Your body already knows how to regulate itself when conditions are calm. You don't need to fix everything. You just need to stop interrupting the recovery process. If you're over 60, your body isn't broken. It's just more sensitive to imbalance. Small adjustments matter more now, and they work. If this explanation felt calm and clear, that means your nervous system recognized safety. That's where healing begins. In future videos, we'll continue breaking down how aging bodies respond, what to support, and what to stop worrying about. Take care of yourself, and listen to the signals you already feel.